So, I'm Armin. I'm literally the second place speedrunner. I'm second place on the leaderboard for any percent, if you were wondering what the text was about. Anyways, I'm like the second person to sub 5 or whatever. It doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day. Alright. So, you might think it's a fucking knockoff of Minecraft. What does it have? Honestly, not much on the decision making. That's just up for you to make, I hope, and to get better at. But for stuff regarding starting out, there's actually a surprisingly good amount. So the first thing I want to touch upon is playstyles. I remember a conversation we had like a week or two ago with like the top 5 runners basically, aside from Andrew. Andrew he's gone. He loves this community basically. Anyways, we finally stopped making fun of the game, kind of, and we were like, you know what, this game is surprisingly deep. Like, no two runners play the same or make decisions the same, really. And like, we started calling that playstyles. I don't think it's playstyles per se, because Stranded Isle has kind of a correct way to play it. That's kind of, and I'm still on that one. I'm still confused, a bit iffy on that one. I think it's less there's a correct way to play it, and more what do you prioritize. Because with me, like, I prioritize making up space. Like, the first thing I'm doing when I'm cutting down trees or mining stone or shit like that, I'm trying to make the map as open as possible to have zombies spawn and make the zombie gathering easier. That doesn't fucking work most of the time, and I usually lose the run because it's fucking ridiculous how lucky you have to be. But I like to think that it actually helps and that it's a good thing to prioritize. Hollow Knight, on the other hand, fucking EBM. He thinks about EBM. He goes to sleep with EBM. If EBM was a person, Hollow Knight would be fucking dating her. Alright? Or dating them. Fucking Lily, I don't know what Lily prioritizes. I know she loves dropping down benches and then picking them up again. So, maybe that's what she prioritizes. Zora's a fucking, oh my god. Zora, legit, the man fucking drops everything to kill zombies. Like, he could be in the middle of fucking mining gym, see a zombie, like, on the other side of the map, and just fucking walk towards it and kill it. It's a bit of a bad habit, but at the same time, it's kind of what makes Zora Zora, you know? So it's like, how about you make a way while gathering shit towards that zombie instead of, you know, dropping everything to kill the zombie. But he's way aggressive with zombies kills, to be honest. Like, the man immediately, if he sees a zombie, he goes for it. And he plays a lot more ballsy, I think, than I do. Or probably Hollow Knight as well. I don't know. Because Hollow Knight, I don't know if, the thing with Hollow Knight is, I don't know if he's aggressive or if he's just fucking stupid. Because the man fucking, he plays everything with ABM, and then like, with zombies, he's like, you know what? Everything or nothing, let's fucking go. I'm gonna get like 20 acre in this one spawn, ladders fucking spawn. And if I don't, the run's just dead, you know? Who cares? I'm over here like, you know, I don't think there's any more zombies spawning or shit like that. I'm trying to like, think whether or not to ladder reset. Hollow Knight's just like, no. There's not enough zombies I'm resetting anyways, it doesn't matter. It's stuff like that that I think makes quote unquote play styles. It's less of like, I think it's less of a hard and fast rule like the wood play style brings upon it. I think it's more like it's a bit like, you know, sewing or like being yourself, kind of. It's a bit fucking weird because if you aren't good at Sunnah, you would think I'm being kind of fucking pretentious or whatever. But like, legitimately, I think the way people play is kind of the way people kind of the way how they sow value, you know, kind of. Like, obviously they're not sowing, you know, the fucking what they value in life or shit like that, but like, they're sowing what they value in the game. And when you sow what you value in the game, you kind of make a what's the thing I'm thinking of? You kind of make a personality, per se, or something like that. You kind of make something that is you, but at the same time, not fully you, when you play. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody in the top 5 or top 4 is thinking I'm fucking crazy, and I probably am, to be honest, because I fucking subbed 5 without even knowing the reason why I subbed 5. But sub-5ing might have been the reason why. I might know a part of the reason why I subbed 5. Because it's sort of like making a thing. You're sort of creating excuse me. You're sort of creating a I'm gonna stop repeating myself and saying you're creating a thing. You're creating a way that you play. Alright? That's what I'm trying to get at here. Like, I can play how I play. And nobody else would kind of be able to replicate it, is what I'm trying to say. Zara plays the way he plays because he's Zara. I play the way I play because I'm Armin. Lily plays the special way she plays in both senses of the word because she's Lily. She's a controller player and she fucking loves benches for some reason. Alright? Would you stop fucking picking up benches, okay, Lily? Fucking Hollow Knight plays the way he plays because he's autistic. Well, not he. They're autistic and they love AVM so much. And I think that's kind of part of the reason why this game is beautiful. Well, it's less of the game and more of the people that play it. Like, you wouldn't catch me watching somebody grind SI. Like, I'm sorry, but like more than like 90% of the decisions like go over my head because I can't understand another person like that. I don't know what they're thinking because in Stranded Isle there isn't like a correct way to think, kind of. Like, obviously there are some things that lose time objectively and we are like bounded, kind of. Well, kind of. I keep on saying kind of. We're together in that. Like, there's some common stuff in between plays and decisions between like the top 5 or 4. because Andrew still decided to fuck off. And it's very interesting. I would love to have like a fucking podcast where we just talk about standard play styles and just like rub off each other. But that's like for another day. Sub-5ing with your play style. It's something that is legitimately magical. Alright? It was one of the things. When I subbed 5, it was like one of the best weeks of my life, to be honest. That one day made my whole week. Or two. I don't know how high lasted. Because you have to understand, back then, legit, it was just me, and I was pretty sure the game was gonna die with me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna end this off with a bang. I'm gonna catch up the Hollow Knight. I'm gonna like have 2 of the original people who started this community end with a sub-5, and I'm gonna like the dog is gonna be amazing because of me. You know, a little bit of ego in there, a little bit of Doc in there, but mainly it was just me wanting that sub-5 because I wanted to catch up with Hollow Knight a bit, and because I just wanted sub-5, period, you know? Sometimes you don't need, like, a reason to want a thing, you just want it. We're all just like children at the end of the day. Overgrown children who make logic to reason with what they feel, you know? A bit like that. It was a bit like that. And I think port, like a very small port, or kind of like a good amount, was just when I subbed 5. I was the second person, you know, that was cool, but like I think it was just like with the way I played. I felt like I played like myself, which, you know, you should always feel like that, but it felt like I was validated for the way I was playing. Like the game itself looked at the way I was playing and said, you know what, fucking Orman, you are, this way of playing that you have done, that you have crafted for yourself over 4 fucking months. That is like, I don't know how many days, because I suck at math and conversions. But like for 4 fucking months, you have been grinding this game, you have been developing your own shit, you have been getting past the soft skill checks, you have made your own, you have developed your play style enough that you pass the test, kind of. And that was like a part of the reason why sub-5ing was amazing. Because my way of playing has passed the test. I can always come back and do it again. You do it once, you know you can do it again. Sort of. That's kind of like the ego coming in a bit. And ego is something else, I gotta say. Fucking, oh my god. Ego has kind of been the reason why I've stopped running SI a bit, because when you stop on a high note, like sub-5ing or something like that, crossing the barrier into like Hollow Knight territory, you sort of kind of think, should I end it here because then at least my career in this game would end on a high note, or should I continue and hope my potential puts me on another high note? Because it, you're gonna stop running this game at some point. It's not a matter of when. It's it's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. And to be able to stop like at the correct time is one of the things that has been conflicting me, because it's such a privilege to stop, to be able to stop, you know, kind of. Like, obviously you should stop whenever you want to, but to be able to stop it on a high note is a privilege. But at the same time, you want to keep going. You should keep going, because stopping at a high note is like trying to preserve your ego, kind of. You can, if you stop on a high note, you can say, "Oh, I was one of the best. I cemented my legacy. I shouldn't keep going because, you know, I would taint that." But to keep going is to make more of a legacy, kind of. Well, not kind of. It's 100% the reason why you should keep going. You shouldn't be thinking about legacy, honestly. In all honesty, this is a fucking, you know, like, 4 people think about Senadile, like, once a week, okay? It's not like a fucking Super Mario 64, but at the same time, we romanticize the things that we like or love, you know? Instead of Hollow Knight sub-5ing, oh wow, that's okay, that's pretty sick, I guess. It's Hollow Knight fucking spent countless hours, just like Hollow Knight fucking pierced the heavens and fucking defeated God, you know? it's we have to embellish, you know, because real life is fucking boring at times, you know, and to be able to embellish is just a way to shoot the shit, honestly. It's the way humans have been doing it predominantly for years. So, stuff like that. I love fucking stuff like that, honestly. It's one of my favorite things to think about. Especially with fucking docs or shit like that, you know? When you're making a documentary that's, like, still happening and currently, like, we were making a Standardized Speedrunning History doc, and I was thinking about ending it at 5:11 or something like that, 5:14, I think it was. And then when I got 5:08, I was like, shit, I can actually sub 5 here and have the doc end on a good note, you know? Just having a documentary that's still being written and it's still documenting current history is a bit of a push to have, you know? And it's just, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but without the documentary, I would have 100% not been able to sub 5. I guess is what I'm trying to drive at here. The fact that I could fucking have something to look forward to that would embellish my achievement, even if it was just like a little bit, was something that was such a good motivational drive. What part of a good motivational drive? At the end of the day, if you sub 5, you 100% sub 5 for yourself. And that's something that's written in stone. You don't dedicate 4 months of your life to fucking sub 5 for a documentary, you know? It's something that you do because you need to do it and not because you want to do it. On the topic of sub 5ing as well. Sub 5ing is, oh my god, I could not tell you how painful it was to do it. because anytime I would fail a run or like have a run that seemed to be going amazingly and then just like it would get fucked by zombies or something else entirely, like 4 gyms or some shit like that, I would just kind of look at the game and just think, why didn't you just let me pass? It was so painful because anytime there was a run, and let me tell you, there was fucking countless runs. There was like at least 1,000 runs, honestly, or something like that, where I would get close to the end, and then I would need fucking sub 5 zombies, and I wouldn't get it. Fucking sub 5 zombies, holy shit. I have never been pissed off by a mob more so than zombies. Fucking, you need so many spawns for sub 5 zombies, honestly. Or, like, you need a good amount. And it's so frustrating, and it's so fucking bullshit to get the spawns and then not get the drops, or not get the, or fucking not get the spawns but get the drop rate. It's so fucking bullshit when shit like that happens. And shit like that happened constantly because you were grinding for it and you wouldn't get it. The game was saying, no, you can't get it yet. No, you will not get it yet. Let me look at the odds. No, you lost the lottery basically every time you played the game. You lost. You keep losing. You lose, 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 until finally you think, why the fuck am I playing this game? Why do I enjoy this? I don't even enjoy this. Why the fuck am I putting so many fucking goddamn hours, months of my life that I could fucking be grinding something else that people actually care about and that people will actually watch, instead of this shitty fucking Pico 8 Minecraft clone looking ass fucking mini clip. Yeah, it's a bit like that. And oh my god, I can just remember the days where I would just like be overwhelmed with fucking anger, or it was just fucking desperation to PB because I couldn't get the run that day. I would just think to myself, it was, oh my god, I still don't feel it. It's like, oh, you don't know until you know. Like, you have to experience it to fucking understand. It's so fucking, it's one of the worst feelings in the, it's one of the worst feelings in the world, to be honest. You're so desperate for a PB, but you won't get it that week, or some shit like that. It's, if I could explain it, I would, but I can't. It's something you experience when you go for sub 5. But those who know, know, I guess. And those who don't know, don't know. It's a bit like torture, to be honest, to go for sub 5. You're torturing yourself because you so desperately want to PB, but the game, the odds won't let you. Until finally one day out of like 4 months that you were spent grinding, you get it, and then you just feel like you're in heaven. You're in heaven for the entire fucking week or 2 weeks. However high that high lasted, I have no idea how long it lasted. It was one of the greatest feelings in my entire life. That day is certainly within my top 3 or 2. It's probably a top 1, to be honest. I don't have any recollections of any day beating that one. But that was like 4 months of build up, and then I finally got it, and just oh my god, it was great when I got it. Of course, the pesky thing as nobody caring came up and kind of put a damper on the mood afterwards, but whatever. You don't sub 5 for other people or recognition. You sub 5 because you want to. Alright. Let's talk about the leaderboard, honestly. A lot of my reasoning for PBing or, you know, like playing this game is the leaderboard, to be honest. Like whenever I climb or someone beats me or shit like that, I get back into this game. I'm not afraid to admit that. A lot of the reasons why I've run Stranded Isle was because I wanted to either climb or because I wanted to beat somebody back after they had beaten me. And honestly, that's fair if that's one of your reasons why you run this game, because honestly, it really doesn't matter until like you sub 5 or some shit. If you sub 5 running off the only reason of wanting to be top on the leaderboard, you are like built different, I have to admit. Like, you are an entirely different human being from me. I subbed 5 partly because I wanted to be at Hollow Knight's level. But it was because I wanted, you know, to just like keep hitting the fucking nail on the head. I wanted to. And Hollow wanted to when he subbed 5, so I guess you kind of have to enjoy the game to sub 5, which is shocking, I know. Very confusing. But I think it's a bit interesting when you come back because someone had beaten the time. Because you're not playing for the game at that point. You're playing for your ego. And ego's one of the most interesting things I think about, honestly, because at the same time ego builds you up, ego destroys you, because you're like, you know what, I can fucking do this time, why am I not doing it, and then just like get frustrated over that, versus, you know, coming back because someone you know you can beat has beaten your time, and you won't stay as a beta to that. Alright, you ain't some beta, you're a fucking Sigma, and you're about to be top of the leaderboard because you have to prove it to the entire world. You have to prove to the entire world how much of a fucking boss you are, and how much fucking, you know, fucking good you are at this stupid fucking video game that nobody cares about. Like, it's such a weird thing to think about, because that's how I run. I have functioned off of that reasoning in this video game. It's so weird because it's true. Nobody cares about this video game except for like 4 people in the entire world. Well, like probably 5, honestly. 5 or 6. And nobody else will get it aside from those like 4 or 5 people. It's like being in a club, but the club requires you to dedicate months of your life, and in return kind of gives you nothing of use outside of the club. And honestly, that's great, to be honest. It's one of those things that's just both the best and the worst of this whole community sick that we're doing here, because that fosters a close community, you know, a bit, because like there's literally 3 people, well, like there's literally like 4 or 5 people who are running this game and who understand what it requires to run this game, and they're like, yeah, let's fucking do this. You're fucking sick. Let's go. You know, we're gonna fucking PB. We're gonna sub 5. We're gonna be Pog. And then there's nobody who understands afterwards. Not even the creator of the game understands. Because how would you, unless you have speedrun the game, or unless something within you gets that reasoning that like us 5 people have to run this game. It's a genetics issue. This is the gene pool trying to cleanse itself right here. I have no idea how Lily has a boyfriend, because honestly, Stranded IO speedrunners should not have a significant other. It's weird. This game only requires 1 hour of running every day to like sub 5 within 4 months, which isn't a lot, but when you think about this game at all, it's a lot, because unlike Minecraft, this RNG isn't fun per se. It's not like, yo, let's go, you know, we can power through this. This game matters to a lot of people. There's a lot of prestige in this category. It's no, it's none of that. Only 5 people will understand you. Out of them, only 2 people will fully understand. Like Lily and Zart, they're great. Like, I'm not taking that away from them. Like, they're gonna be top players, you know? They're gonna be fucking climbing. They're gonna be like fucking... They're gonna be like the people who have joined me in Hollow. But until you have sub 5 yourself, I think you can't fully understand what it takes to sub 5. Like, you may get like 80% of the understanding, or like 85% or something like that, but until you have done it yourself, like I keep on saying, you don't fully understand. And that's it reminds me of Margarita's like fucking Streets 112, like how hype he was after that, after tying like fucking Margarita or some shit like that. He's just screaming about this, and like nobody understands, but we all support him because because the man is fucking talking his shit right now, and it's entertaining to see somebody talk about the passion. And if it's not, it's probably because you don't understand that passion. You're not giving that passion enough like reasoning or like patience to understand it. Having a close community it's great. I wouldn't trade it for the world, not even for like an SM64 community for Stranded IO. God forbid we ever get an SM64 community as Stranded IO. I pray for any new runners who join this game. Nobody subject themselves to Stranded IO, much less sub 5. And honestly, sub 5ing isn't the hardest thing in the world, to be honest. It took me 4 months, but that was because I grinded like every day 1 hour, and even then I took like days off, weeks off, stuff like that. I wasn't disciplined in doing that. I can see somebody coming in and just like getting sub 5 within like 2 months, maybe one, if they put in a stupid amount of time. But the thing is, I'm okay with that. Sub 5 probably isn't like the peak of any percent, and it probably never will be, because you can always go faster, you can always be better, you can always be smarter, you can always be, fucking better, You can always be gooder, kind of, basically. But I'm okay with it being the milestone it is in our community, because our community isn't one of, big, isn't one that's like pushing every single fucking day. Once you pass a certain size threshold, I'm pretty sure you attract people who will push this game every fucking day and no life it, like Hollow did. But like, keep on going, like 10 times Hollow's no life range. And those people scare me. We shouldn't have those in our community. Alright, just ban anybody who's faster than me or Hollow Knight. But the thing is, like, I keep on trying to bring it back to this, and I'm trying to word it correctly in my mind. We don't need the fastest time for Standard Isle, to be honest. We don't need any sub 4s or shit like that, because we have already kind of made our milestone already. We've made sub 5, and sub 5 is the fucking hardest thing you can do in this community currently. Hollow Knight might be changing that soon, but it is currently the hardest thing you can fucking do in this community, sub 5ing, and we have built a culture around that, basically. We have built memes around that, we have grinded around that, we have, fucking blood, sweat, tears, piss, shit, stuff like that around it. And it's probably, even if sub 5 get pushed and like fucking sub 4 is a thing, sub 5 will probably still be regarded as fucking, insanely difficult because of the culture we have made around it. Like, Hollow has flat out said to me in DMs that if anybody gets sub 5, they're basically like first place, but luck fucked them over somehow. And yeah, that's kind of true. If you sub 5 in this community, you're basically first place, and nobody can take that away from you. It's up there. It's on. You have made your name. You made your mark, and it's not fucking coming off to take words away from Mark Rutsu. Not Mark Rutsu, to take words away from fucking. Dude, I forgot the runner's name. Ryan Lockwood. To take away from Ryan Lockwood's Streets 112 hype video. It's not coming off. You have, like, made history. Even if it's a history nobody cares about aside from, like, 4 other people. It's still history, Fucking George Mallory, because it's there. Fucking... Even though this is, like, probably not appropriate to make a metaphor or, like, to make a look at, because climbing Mount Everest is, like, the hardest fucking thing, like, one of the hardest fucking things you can do in, like, the physical world. It kind of embodies a bit of spirit for SI as well. You don't grind SI because SI, fucking puts food on the table because it's fucking like important or useful. You grind SI because you want to prove something to yourself. You want to look yourself dead in the eyes, kind of, and be like, I am going to go for this time, and if I don't go for this time, I understand who I am now, If I don't get this time, I understand that I don't have what it takes sometimes. But if I do get this time, I understand that I have what it takes, and I will always try to utilize every single thing in my, body or soul or whatever you believe in to sort of develop, It's a bit like looking at yourself and saying, this is my level of determination. And if I don't, if I don't use all of it from now on, I understand I am not doing my best anymore. And if I'm not doing my best, then I can't say I am, proud of myself if I don't do it. Or proud of what I've done if I don't do it. When you're pursuing, other passions or stuff like that. That has, signed a light in me when I sub 5. When I sub 5 and I looked at my writing, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing anything close to sub 5. Or, close to as determined I was for sub 5. So I need to, change that. You sort of kind of gain a confidence, but it's more of an understanding of how much you have within you, and you need to start using more of you in other stuff, in other passions, in other things, That's a bit philosophical, but fucking Nietzsche, let's go, Nietzsche Uber ally or whatever the fuck he calls it. Fucking, it's philosophical a bit, but that's honestly 100% has been my approach from now on for my passions and stuff like that, for stuff that I think about a lot. I compare myself doing sub 5 to what I'm doing for my passion currently, and if it's not reaching that level, I change it and I fix that. And it's hard work at times, but it's gonna be worth it at the end because it's your passion, it's the thing you love to do, and you're not doing it correctly. Aside from that, I talked about playstyle, sub 5, a bit of ego, and a bit of what drives us, to be honest, and how sub 5ing changed a bit of my perspective on passions and shit like that. What else is there to talk about? Jesus. Is there anything else to talk about? I can't think of anything else to talk about. Man, I wanted this to last an hour. It was one of my things. I wanted this to last an hour because then at the very least I can be like, you know what? I have made my own podcast. Sometimes I was weird. That's all. I should probably end it on that, but It is weird. The community should be dead by now. It's not somehow. I have no idea how it's not fucking dead. So many people have come and gone, and so many people have changed this game, like life and stuff like that, without even knowing, to be honest. It's weird. I hope Andrew comes back. I would love to see an Andrew come back in the year 2021. Man has left. He should come back. We have beaten his times. We have catched up the Andrew. I would love to see that man come back in any percent. That would be fucking amazing. Andrew's sub 5 would be Pog. Still can't think of anything, to be honest. Fuck it. You know what? Let's go back into ego. I've kind of basically highlighted everything I wanted to say about ego, but yeah, especially about like retiring at a high note and shit like that. And fucking, you know, the Mango quote. Fucking Mango hit the nail on the head with this shit. It was like, yeah, you retire and you claim that you leave a legacy for yourself, or you look at what the new players are doing and you use that to push yourself and push yourself past like the fucking complacency that you have built for yourself, and you become even better than you were before, and leave more of a legacy for yourself in the meanwhile. And the thing is, with ego, it's a bit weird because that's actually like what Mango said is 100% true. I've shit talked Lily a lot, and I have shit talked Zara a lot about like the times and like the playing and shit like that. And honestly, I probably shouldn't be the one to talk because even though I subbed 5, I am legit like getting 6-minute runs now that I haven't played the game at all in like a couple months or shit like that. I'm literally getting slower times than they are currently, and I know that all it takes is just like de-rusting and like, you know, being patient and all that shit, but who fucking wants that to be the answer, you know? Fuck being patient, dude. I remember, Crow, I'm here for a short time, not a long time. I think I said that during like a fucking Dream% grind to get it back. I never got Dream% back. It's still depressing about that. I'm still depressed about that. I need to get it back, honestly. I need to come back and do that, but I probably will when Zara comes back on. When Zara beats my time, honestly. I mean, if he wants to beat my time. I'm pretty sure he wants to beat my time, though. He didn't shoot it down when I said don't beat my time. So I guess that's progress. Thing is, like, I can always de-rust, you know? I can always come back and be sub 5, you know? I haven't peaked in this game, and nobody probably will peak in this game, to be honest, because Sanadile doesn't require that much reaction. Sanadile doesn't require that much, you know, fast movement and shit like that. It's not like a fucking esports, you know? Sub 5 has been like the community milestone for like half a year or some shit at this point. It's stagnating a bit. It's a bit like it's staying at the same place, and that place isn't like fucking, you know, high end. You lose 1 second, you lose world record, you know, fucking Minecraft speedrun shit, you know. It's not like that at all. I can come back, grind a bit, be sub 5 and like fucking beat Hollow Knight's time, honestly, if I wanted to. It's a game of motivation and discipline and shit, and I'm not, no, I'm not like the best person on no shit. Hollow Knight is a fucking monster mainly because he loves this game. I don't love this game. I fucking hate this game. Well, I don't hate this game, but I don't like this game. Kind of. It's sick to having a oh my god, flowchart. It's sick having your own flowchart. I finally found a subject to talk about fully now instead of dragging out the time like a fucking bitch. Flowcharts. This is a bit like playstyles, but oh my god. Holy shit, flowcharts. They're fucking amazing. And when I mean flowchart, I'm talking about like kind of the way you play, like playstyles, you know? The priorities, or the things you prioritize. But not really at the same time. Fucking, you have like a start. You always start from like the same kind of starting place, you know? You have to break trees to make a wooden pickaxe, to make a stone bench, to make a stone tools, to go down to the cave to mine, and to get trees as well, and then like get zombies. But the way people do that is different, even if the thing is like, if the end goal or like the goals are basically the same. And it's interesting to see that, to be honest. Like I have talked about Zora being way too aggressive. Or like so aggressive, more aggressive than like Hollow Knight or me. And I've talked about Hollow Knight like looking at EBM like a fucking religious man and just like fucking becoming the priest of EBM. And I've talked about Lily dropping down benches and picking them up for no fucking reason, Lily. I need to figure out what the fuck you're good at, actually. I need to figure out what you prioritize. I need to stop making jokes about your playstyle, and I need to start taking you more seriously, honestly. Because you're gonna, like, fucking be 520 or some shit soon, honestly. And the thing is, the flowchart, how you develop the flowchart is driven by the game, which is fucking sick. Because we can talk about the game all day. We can talk about specific scenarios and what you should do. We can talk about finding an objective, standard, correct way to play this game that will give you the best odds and that will give you the, you know, the best drops, the best chance of PBing. But at the end of the day, that doesn't fucking matter because this game is Stranded Island. Stranded Island is RNG, and the way you navigate RNG is by developing your own fucking ideas about RNG and developing your own ideas about how this game works, and then developing priorities based off of that, and then developing a way to play based off of that, and in turn sort of creating a thing that is reflective of you in some way. Probably not like in personality or some shit like that, but it's still like it was made by you. You leave some part of it in it, you know? It's like art, shit like that. Standard Isle is basically always what I'm trying to say. Better than modern art. Honestly, it's fucking sick to think about that, because I don't know, I keep on saying the same words, and I don't know the perfect way to word it that fucking blows everybody's mind, aside from like repeating the same things I have said again and again. It's just, I look at Zor playing, and I see Zor in his full glory while playing SI, you know? I look at Lily, I see a dumbass who is fucking funny and, you know, is one of my best friends when they play SI, you know? I look at Harl and I see a fucking religious man worshiping fucking EBM, and also I see one of my best friends who's a fucking beast at this game. I look at myself playing, I see someone who, you know, is fucking retarded and is thinking about how to open up space to make zombies spawn more, so that they can hopefully actually get a PB this run. When you get good at Stranded Isle, you can decipher what a person prioritizes and what they don't prioritize if you care enough. And in turn, you can kind of get a glimpse at a part of their mind and what they are thinking. And how, like, it's less like Super Mario 64 where there's an optimal way of doing anything and, like, you're fucking wrong if you fuck up, if you do a variation or some shit. People develop their own playstyles, they develop their own shit, and you can understand and see that when you are good at Stranded Isle, and it gives you a bit of an intimate gaze at their mind. Like, you see Zora, you see a Australian guy who fucking is aggressive. He probably, you know, fucking... No, I'm not gonna continue with that. I love you, Zora. You're a good guy. No homo. It's just, you can get something from them that you wouldn't get otherwise by playing any other game. Because in this game, you develop, I've already said this, in this game you do everything by yourself and you can understand. And if you look at somebody else's run, like when they have done everything by themselves and they have made their own progress and they have, you know, gone their time and they have felt proud of themselves, and you can get something from that, you know, probably doesn't matter outside of it. You don't understand them. Like, I 100% will come out and say you don't understand that person just because you watch them play Stranded Isle, but you understand something. It's not everything. It's not, like, useful out of Stranded Isle, but it's something in Stranded Isle that is only useful in Stranded Isle, and that is just one of the fucking, you know, amazing things I have, you know. It's one of the most amazing things that I have come to realize. People have different approaches, and even though it doesn't matter outside of this game, and it doesn't matter at all, and it doesn't care, or it's just fucking sick, okay? It's fucking sick to get that glimpse of something that doesn't matter outside of a Stranded Isle, and it doesn't really care, or, you know, you don't really care about it that much, to be honest. Well, not really. Let me try to word this correctly. It's fucking sick to get that glimpse of something in somebody that you know, it doesn't matter outside of SI. Nobody else is gonna get that glimpse of that person outside of SI. You have sort of like privilege, or you know, a unrestricted view of that one thing, or not one thing, of that something that in SI. Only 5 people in the world can get that glimpse, and you are one of those 5 people in the world who has the ability to get that glimpse. And it's just fucking sick to get that glimpse, you know? I don't know, maybe I'm fucking crazy, but it's fucking, it's sick to see that.